Hey guys, what's going on? Today I have a deck profile for you. This is I wanted to go over the deck I took with me to the Houston Regionals. I'm gonna give you a little spoiler warning. It didn't go so well, but I wanted to give you an update on what I played, what any issues I had, just to get some content out there because I haven't really been posting a lot lately. To shock no one, or to some really, I played Pure Snake Eyes. It's a tier 0 format. It's the best deck in the room. And I really wanted to get my invite because I haven't been playing a lot. I've just been playing like casually since Nationals last year. So I really thought, hey, I'm going to, when they announced Nationals for Austin, I was like, well, now I'm really incentivized to try to get my invite. I ended up going 3-3 and dropping. Out of all my rounds, I only think one of them was my own fault. I think the other two losses were to pure variants, but I'll get into that after I show you what I played. So it's Pure Snake Eyes. The list is mostly standard. It's 3 Diabell Star, 3 Ash, 2 Poplar, 1 Oak, 2 Flamebirch, and the Jet Synchron. This is the standard list everyone's running. Some people are playing 2 of this. I main deck 3, and then I side 1 out, going second and third. The main deck's at 41. I could easily just drop this to make this 40. But I like 41 because it gives me more flexibility for siding, and siding is really important in this format, so that's why I decided to go up on 41, and mathematically it doesn't really hurt you. But that's the engine. For spells, we played 3 Bonfire, 3 Wanted, 1 Divine, 1 Original Sins. So this is the engine. This card is really mid. Bonfire is really mid. In a droll format, this card loses you games. Like if you go Bonfire, search Oak, and you get drolled, it's kind of just game. Or it can be if you don't open up a critical mass of hand traps to try to stun your opponent out. So wasn't a huge fan. A lot of times I wouldn't even activate this. I would pitch it for Diabell Star or something, or Jet Synchron. And that's not just me. I mean, I noticed that, but like most of my opponents, even what's it called? Even didn't like this card too much. And you actually side it out in the mirror, and I'll show you what you side for it. But yeah, that's the engine. Here's all the non-engine. So I played 3 Crossout Designator. Because it's a regionals and not OICS, I wasn't 100% sure like if I would play Snake Eyes the whole time. But I do know that every deck in the format is very hand trap heavy except for branded. So I really wanted to just make sure I could do my combos, and I borrowed this deck from my friend on Wednesday. I was going to play Metal Foe, but I decided, he was like, hey, do you just want to borrow the deck? And I was like, sure. So I had from Wednesday to Friday to learn how to play the deck. And so because I was kind of shaky on how to play it, I kind of wanted the crutch of Crossout Designator to help me get through my stuff. And this card was very clutch. I resolved it many a times. Only one game was it like really mid. I think if I opened this, any of the games I lost, like I think 2 of my 3 losses, if I had opened this card at all, I would have won. I could have won. And then I play 1 Triple Tactics. It's just a crossout target. This was really insane for me all day. I opened it like twice, and just blew my opponent out. So I would definitely try to bump this up to 3 in the main deck, at least for regionals. For YCS, we do something else, but for regionals or locals, I would play 3 definitely. And then we play 2 Ghost Mourner, only the 2, 3 Droll, 3 Ash, or sorry, not Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, 3 Nib, which is the best hand trap in the format right now. It's better than Droll. and then 3 Imperm, and that's our non-engine lineup. So that's what 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 non-engine cards in a 41 card deck. This kind of gets into why I did so poorly. Multiple times I opened up all hand traps or no hand traps and all engine, and if you do not open up a nice mixture of the both, you're just gonna lose. So that's why you really need to keep like your non-engine to your engine ratios like as close as possible. Yeah, pretty much. I'll go over my rounds at the end, but yeah, my losses were to variants of just like not opening well 2 of 3 games. I did punt 1 game, and I'll talk about it when I get to that match. But let's get into the extra deck. The extra deck is super standard, nothing cute here. Link Karibo, the 2 Fire and Dark Charmer, IP Masquerena, Nightmare Phoenix, SP Little Knight, 1 Promethean Princess, and 1 Selene. So if you don't play the Selene or you play the Fire King version, you should probably play 2 Promethean Princess. But the second one never came up. Selene comes up occasionally. There was one time I could make her, but I didn't because I did want to end on SP Little Knight, and I didn't want to use Selene. I didn't want to use the resource, so I didn't see any reason to end on Selene as well. I thought I had the game locked up, and then he drew his 1-of to blow me out, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I lost a game to that. And then Raging Phoenix, Zelantis, Appaloosa. These are your Link 4s. We don't play the whale. The pure version doesn't really play the whale. You don't really need it. So the best part of a lot like just ending on this is good enough half the time. But yeah, that, and then for the Synchro package, I played Savage, Formula, Baron, the pretty standard Synchro package. And then the last card was Typhon. I didn't summon it all day. No, I summoned it once, and I lost the one time I summoned it. In theory, it's really good, but it just never come up. In my matches that I lost, this never came up. And then my side deck, this is where things got really difficult, and I was mulling this around for a very long time. I played a heavy Bestial package, so 5 Bestials. The idea behind it is I didn't want to lose to the gimmick lock, and these are like good in the mirror. I didn't side in all 5 in the pure mirror, but I brought in at least 3 of them against Voiceless, and I probably would. If I played Voiceless again, I probably would have just put all 5 in. But the one time I did play Voiceless, I only put 3 in. Because I wanted to main deck cross-out targets. So, and some other stuff. But, yeah, this card is very interesting. And, these were like near MVP all day. Like, these were very good. Even though I didn't play any branded. 3 Cosmic Cyclone, I side this in going second every time. Like, if you're going second into any deck in the format, side this in, because everybody's either playing Anti-Spell or Summon Limit. And then 3 Summon Limit, I won a bunch of games. I think I won like 2 games off of it. The card is completely broken and probably will be banned on the next ban list. And then my one-time card is Agave Dragon. I had space for 1 card in the extra deck. I thought about playing a Bell as a cross-out target, but ultimately I was like, I just kind of want, or playing a Duster, but I was like, I kind of want a time card. And so I decided I would play Agave Dragon. I never made it. I sided it in twice. And then the last card I sided was 3 Lullaby of Obedience. And I know what people are thinking, that they thought this card is really overhyped. They think it's, the next push card because, during Zoo format, people played, I think it was Zoo format. There were a couple, like during the other Tier 0 formats, people were playing this card. And people were playing this card, and it's always just kind of been mid. But unironically, this is the best card in the mirror. In the mirror, this is the best card ever printed, and I'd be willing to say this. any game I resolved this card, I won. Like, it wasn't even a challenge. If you resolve this card in the mirror, going second, you're winning. It was absolutely insane. Like, but the siding pattern, if you don't know, is in the mirror. You swap out bonfires for lullabies. Because this doesn't lose the droll. This loses the droll. Yes, you can get drolled off of this, but this is if you activate this and get drolled, you lose. If you get drolled and this is your hand, you lose. Stop it. Sorry, my cat is getting pissy. Lullaby of Obedience. Under droll, you can still activate it because it forces them. If you're under droll, it forces them to summon it to your field. So if they droll you, you can activate this and call like Oak or Ash, or sorry, you can call like Oak, or like any of the other cards, and they're Diabellstar, and they're forced to summon it to your field because they can't add it to your hand. If you're under summon limit, then they're forced to give it to you in your hand, so you just call a hand trap. You call Nib, Ash. A lot of people weren't maining Ash because of this card. So a lot of people weren't maining Ash because of this card. And the fact that people aren't maining Ash because of this is just insane. Like, Ash is so good. Yeah, I opened, like, I remember like two or three times I opened like two of these, and it's in the mirror. This is the best card ever printed. Pack was not lying at all. I really wish I would have saw it in some of my other games. Yeah, and so that's the lines for it are insane, and just the utility of it. If Snake Eyes continues to be a dominant, like I'm probably never not citing this. If Snake Eyes stays dominant, but this also isn't my deck, so who knows if I'm going to be playing this in 2 weeks when the next regional's around. I just borrowed it. Let me get my phone, and I will pull up my my Twitter, and I will go over my rounds. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you should. I post my regional rounds. So round 1, I played against Pure Snake Eyes. I lost the die roll. I won 2-0. Don't remember too much about the match. I do remember. My opponent does this for. It was a Pure Snake Eyes mirror, and he goes. Excuse me. He goes Lullaby, or sorry, game 1. He tries to make IP with Link Kribo. Like, he has 2 level 1s, and he goes Link Kribo. And I was like, sure. And then he goes IP, and I'm like, yeah, that's not how that works. So he ended up making like linking away like his 2 like main deck monster, like 2 his other, like, because he had all 3 level 1s on the field. He ended up leaking the other 2 away into the IP, which is like not the right play at all. So he ended up on like a mediocre board. I was just able to play through it and kill him. And then game 2, I opened up 2 Lullaby, and yeah, it was game 1. Like, I just Lullaby, call Poplar, adds it to hand, special it, do my combo on the very next. I held the second one for the next turn. Lullaby, Poplar for your second Poplar, and yeah, round 1 was easy. Round 2, I played against Snake Eye Fire King. I won the die roll, but and won the match 2-1. Nothing amazing about this match. I threw away game 1 because, like I said, I picked up the deck on Wednesday, and I just haven't had the time to like practice it, or like I was like watching like combo videos like right before the tournament started, and like while I was driving to Houston, I was like trying to go through them in my head. I think I had played maybe 5 games with this deck prior to the regional, so I definitely went in like really underprepared. But I ended up winning 2-1. Game 2 and game 3 I saw Lullaby, and the game was easy from there. I guess the coolest thing I did is I did open my one of talents, and I baited. He had an SP. He had like kind of like a full field, and I had an SP. or I made SP. I went SP target your princess, or sorry, I went SP target. I think I targeted like his princess in his graveyard, so he was forced to summon it out. And he went target my Poplar, target his Poplar, target my SP, and SP. What if you didn't know? You can, if you chain SP and target both the targets for princess, princess won't summon, and you'll be able to and excuse me. But I didn't really care if princess summoned because I had talent, so I was trying to get it to summon. So I chained it and target his own SP Little Knight and banished them both. Let the princess summon, because princess only needs to destroy one monster to complete its summoning condition. It doesn't need to destroy both. Summoned his, so he summoned his princess, and then I talents took it, revived my Flaying Burge, pushed his monster into the back zone, and proceeded to OTK him. So yeah, that was round 2. Round 3, I lost to Voiceless. I lost 1-2, and I lost the die roll. This was my first loss. It was the only match that I think I threw away. I tried to get cute, and I had Drew a Swarm and the Diabell Star Girl on the field. And he had anti-spell. He had anti-spell. Game 1 and Game 2, by the way. I won Game 2, he won Game 1. There was nothing either of us could do. Like, Game 2, I just opened hand trap and stuff. I just beat him. Game 1, he just opened up the nuts, and I didn't open up any way to interact with him, truly. So, he also played into Nib, and I was able to nib him in Game 2. I opened up my one of Nib because I leave it in as a cross-out target. I was very not prepared for that matchup at all. But I opened my one of Nib, and he played into it. I was able to nib his field away. That's one of the reasons I won Game 2. But I was gonna win that. I was gonna win that game regardless of the nib. I was just like, oh, that's really nice. That makes it super easy. But then Game 3, so he has anti-spell, a set card, and the Skull Guardian. And I go, and I have Drew a Swarm and a negated Diabell Star. So I go, so my thought process is, I go make, excuse me, make the fire Phoenix. Phoenix, pop your back. I just kind of like got too excited and I didn't slow down, and I should have slowed down. But I made Phoenix, went Chain Link 1 Phoenix, target your back row, Chain Link 2, Drew a Swarm, send your Skull Guardian. And unfortunately, the set card was the Ritual Spell. So they went to the graveyard, the Ritual Spell activated to summon Seravis from the deck, and he just turtled on Seravis for the rest of the game. And he had that anti-spell up, and I purposely didn't target the anti-spell to destroy because I knew the only way he would get out of the game, like I could win just through the monsters in my deck. I just needed to not draw a bunch of spells. And over like the next 4 turns, I drew nothing but spells, and he drew nothing but Cosmic. So he was able to like set Cosmic pass, and then I drew a spell, set one, his turn, and he's like standby phase, Cosmic here, set, and we did that for like 3 turns straight while he had this Seravis. I also could have won. I would have won if I had drawn into any Bestials, so I could have banished my. I could have banished my Princess, and then used the spell card in the graveyard to shuffle her back and draw a card, and then any Bestial plus any one other card would have worked for me. Like would have worked out, and I would have been able to do something. I also sided out my second Flamebirds Dragon. If I had played the second, because I kept siding out one, and I kept opening the one, and unfortunately it was in my graveyard, so I wasn't able to use it. And if I had the second one in the deck, I would have won that game. If I had just went to battle phase, beat over the thing, attacked the thing, and then made the Phoenix, I also would have won that game. So that was the only time I ever was like, it was my fault, but it was just, I got too excited and I was inexperienced with the deck. Let's see, round 4 was my second loss versus Snake Eyes Fire King. There was nothing I could do for this match. I lost 1-2. We get to game 3, and we both like open one piece of engine and 4 hand traps, and we proceed to trade 1-for-1 with each other. And he just got to engine before I could. Like, I just kept drawing into hand traps, and he just kept and he eventually was able to draw into he was drawing into engine every turn, so he was able to eventually, after like 5 turns, get his engine going and work through all my hand traps, which was very unfortunate. Sorry. Round 5, I played against Kashtira, one of my buddies at locals. I ended up winning 2-1. Nothing too crazy about it. Game 1, I just went first. He didn't open shifter. I was able to put up a board he couldn't beat. Game 2, he does the full like anti-nib. I keep one nib in as a crossout target, so I opened the one nib, and I probably shouldn't do that. And yes, I do keep nib. I do keep crossout going second, because a lot of the games boil down to top decking wars, and if you side this out, you're just like, if you see this going second, it's still really good. And so I leave the one nib target, and people do keep nibbing going first, because the chances of you getting stunned out to where your board becomes easily breakable is really high when people are playing 20 hand traps. So yeah, this is a long video. So yeah, I got he shifted me game 2 and then summoned Vanity's Fiend. I'm like, I can't do anything with that about that. I just didn't open up any outs. And then game 3, I just turtled on a summon limit, and it was really nothing you could do. Summon limit, like I made my board set summon limit, and he just couldn't do it. Like I made Zelantis SP with summon limit and a second summon limit set in case he outed the first. He couldn't do anything. So won that. Shout out to him. He ended up winning out after that and getting his invite. He took 60. There was like 540 something people there, so it was top 68 for invites, and he got it. So shout out to him. And then in the very next round, I played against Snake Eye Evils, and I lost the die roll and lost the match. Game 1, I opened up 0 hand traps, so he was able to full combo me, which the Evil version ends on the new Exceed monster that is like basically an Omni Negate. So I couldn't play through it. I tried, but I think I got down to his like, yeah, I got him down to like 1 card, and like I played through his entire board, and then finally I was like, activate the Snake Eye spell card to special from the deck, and he's like, yeah, the last card in my hand's Ash, and I was like, fucking can't do anything about that. Game 2, I opened up a nice mixture of engine and non-engine, and I cooked him. And then game 3, I opened up all non-engine. My hand was Nib, Ash, God damn it. My hand was Nib, Ash, Droll, Field Spell, and then my top deck was Droll. I was going second. This was my hand, and so I Droll. He goes Bonfire, add, and I'm like Droll and Lockbird, and he's like, cool talents, send back the nib. And then on the next turn, I drew another Droll, and I was like, okay, I guess. And I was able to like kind of hold off what he was doing. So I was like, Divine Temple, put Ash in the back. I was like, Divine Temple, put Ash in the back, and I was like, if he summons something, I can at least like start to build stuff. But he goes draw for turn, standby, Cosmic, the field spell, and I was like, okay. So I was able to hold him off for like 1 more turn, but then my top deck after that was another hand trap. I think it was Mourner. Actually, no, it was a cross out. It was cross out, and I think, and he was able to just cook me after that, and I was like, yeah, you got it, because he then on the next turn proceeded to. This was my final hand to fight off what he was doing, and it just wasn't good enough, and I lost. So he just had too much gas because he had been developing it over time, even though he was under droll. He just opened up like all gas, and I just saw no engine. And so yeah, that's how that tournament went. And then I just I just dropped after that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go hang around with my friends. But yeah, that's how the tournament went. It went very mediocre. I lost to variants 2 of my 3 matches, and really I only lost to myself once. And you know, I guess for a deck that I picked up on Wednesday, played like 5 games with, and then called it a regionals, it wasn't that bad. It's really fun. I'm not a fan of hand trap formats because you'll just like it. Hand trap formats are just no fun to play in. But what can you do? But yeah, that's the video. It was a long one. If you got any questions, drop them down in the Discord. Or not in the Discord, drop them down in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them. Either way, I guess have a good night.